Hello, students. How do we know something is living? What makes something alive? So, a dog is living, a plant is living, but what about a cloud? Even it moves. What about a car? Even that moves. So, are they living? Today, we are going to uncover some of the most special characteristics of living organisms. Let's get started. First characteristics is movement. So, living organisms, they are going to move from one place to another. They are going to move. For example, humans, we walk, birds fly, fish swim. What about plants? Plants, they are not going to move from one place to another like this, but they are going to grow towards the sunlight. They are going to show movement towards sunlight, just like this. Clear? So let's assume if it is a plant, if it's soil, roots, then plant is going to show its movement towards the sunlight. What about non-living things? Just now, as I told, a car moves, a cloud moves. Likewise, fire also spreads and moves. So we can understand that movement is present in both living things and non-living things. That is why movement is not a defining characteristics, not a defining character. What do you mean by a defining characteristics? Defining characteristics nothing but that character which is present only in the living organisms but absent in the non-living organisms. Okay, next characteristic is growth. So here, as we know that we living organisms, we grow. Humans, we grow from baby stage, we become adult, right? Likewise, plants also grow from seed stage and become a mature plant or tree, right? So likewise, growth is seen in living organisms. But what about non-living? So living organisms, growth is present. But what about non-living? In non-living organisms also growth is present. For example, fire grows, okay, with increase in oxygen. Likewise, mountains also, they are going to grow, they are going to increase in size, because when wind carries the soil, that soil gets deposited on the mountain, and because of that, mountain is also going to grow. So growth is present in living beings. That is what type of growth? That is internal growth. Whereas growth present in non-living things is external growth. Okay, living organisms growth is internal. That means growth is going to happen by cell division. Clear? Next characteristics is respiration. So what is respiration? Very simple. Whatever food we eat, okay, from that food energy is produced. Energy is produced in the form of ATP. So the release of energy from the food, this process is known as respiration. Here what happens in detail, the glucose from the food is going to club with oxygen to produce energy in the form of ATP. Clear? So this respiration, I'll tell you about this thing, like what is this, like is it a defining character or what. Next is nutrition. Nutrition is nothing but the process of taking food. The process of obtaining food is known as nutrition. Why do we need food? Food is going to give us energy ultimately, and this energy is very important for survival, right? Next important character is excretion. Excretion nothing but removing the waste. Removal of waste out of the body of a living organism is known as excretion. Excretion is very important because what happens is when the waste gets accumulated, this can harm the body. That's why with the process of excretion, the waste will be thrown out of the body. Clear? So examples like humans, we excrete urine, we release carbon dioxide while breathing, right? And we also release sweat. So all these are the products of waste, or all these are the waste products. Likewise, plants also remove some of the waste products. Next characteristics is reproduction. What is reproduction? Reproduction is the process of producing young ones or offsprings nothing but babies, of their own kind. Here, of their own kind in the sense living organisms, they are going to produce their young ones, their offsprings of their same kind. For example, human is going to produce the offspring will also be a human. Likewise, let's assume monkey, if it's in animals case, monkey is going to produce the offspring, its offspring also will be a monkey, like that. So reproduction is not a defining characteristics. Why is it not a defining character? Because there are some organisms which cannot reproduce but still they are living. For example, worker honeybees, a mule. What is a mule? Mule is an animal. Don't worry about that. In detail, I'm going to upload one more video about that. Next is some of the humans also, like some humans who are infertile, they also cannot reproduce, but still they are living. So that's why reproduction cannot be a defining characteristics. Next comes sensitivity. Sensitivity is nothing but responding to stimulus. Response to stimulus. That means whichever external factor or change that comes from the environment, you are going to sense it and you are going to respond. That character is known as the character of sensitivity. Okay, so living organisms, they have these characteristics of sensing the change and responding it. For example, if you touch a hot object, you are going to pull your hand immediately back. Likewise, in plants, touch me not plant, its scientific name is Mimosa pudica. Let me write it here. Somewhere here I'll write it here. Touch me not plant, scientific name is Mimosa pudica. Okay, Mimosa pudica, it is going to fold its leaves when you touch it. So next is cellular organization. Cellular organization. So what does this mean? In the word only it is there, cellular, containing the word cell. So it tells that living organisms are made up of cells. These are the structural and functional unit of life. So this cellular organization becomes the defining characteristic. Why? That means it is only and only present in living organisms but absent in non-living. It is present in living organisms, absent in non-living. Anything which has cells is living, anything which do not have cells is non-living. Next, the last characteristics is metabolism. Here, what is metabolism? Nothing but all the chemical processes or chemical reactions that take place inside a living body is known as metabolism. Here examples include, see, I have told you about respiration. Respiration is a part of metabolism, is an activity of metabolism. Nutrition is a part of metabolism. Excretion is a part of metabolism. So metabolism is a broad term for all these important processes happening inside the living organism. That is why metabolism also becomes a defining character. That means if metabolism is present, the organism is living. If metabolism is absent, the organism is non-living. Clear? If metabolism present, organism is living. Metabolism absent, organism becomes non-living. So the defining characteristics are, first one is cellular organization. Cellular organization. And the next one is metabolism. So metabolism includes all the metabolic activities like respiration, digestion, nutrition, excretion. Okay, metabolism. So these two becomes the defining characteristics of life. If they are present, that means the organism is said to be living. If they are not present, the organism is said to be non-living. Here I have made just a small trick or mnemonic to remember all these important characteristics. That is Mr. Nurgek. M stands for movement, R for respiration, N for nutrition, E for excretion, R for reproduction, G for growth, E for energy production. This is also a part of metabolic activity. It is a part of metabolism. That's why you can relate this to metabolism. Okay. And C for cellular organization. Hope this helps. Comment me if you have any doubts or if any of the concepts are confusing. So I'll help you clear it. So follow the clever chalk to make your concepts spark. Thank you.